sentence in your head. There ain't no finish line. Call no man happy till he's dead. There's a pressure behind my soul. I can feel it in my bones. There's a storm coming.
All right, hello. Are we in our correct places? Close to.
Yeah.
No, we are. We are correct. Hello, welcome. This is. Oh, sorry, I gotta fix one thing. Hi, I'm Michael. Pronouns are he, him, and I will be GMing tonight for Ars Magica. We want to go and introduce ourselves.
I'm Sarah. I'm going to be playing Lear, a half water fae mage.
Sorry, I was just making sure the sound was working. Hi, I am Nessa. I will be playing Hunter once again. Hunter Hunt. He is kind of a woods guy, and that's basically it. Also, a recent murderer.
Okay. I'm Steve. I'm playing Bastion. Bastion, if you are not familiar, was the grog that Sarah played in the first episode of the game that played the music so well that we got a baby back from the Fae Queen. So
We only had to kill one guy.
now, to be fair, Nessa, Hunter didn't murder someone. That person was going feral, and he followed orders.
All right. So Ars Magica is not like a lot of other role-playing games. Instead of playing the same group of people each time, each session is like you generally one mage, a companion, and some grogs. Every player has a companion. Every player has a mage. Tonight, Ibrahim was unable to be with us, so we're probably going with we're doing a couple grogs tonight and one of the mages. It is the story of the Covenant and the things that the mages are doing, and because they're fairly new, one of the things we get to get into today. Well, we can sort of start off with this. Bastion. Tell us a little bit, if you want to, yeah, because you can kind of figure out how you see Bastion as a character. But you have been kind of around singing. There's like a little tavern and such in the Covenant, in the basically where you have all of the miners and such living. There's places you can sing. You'll be able to do other things kind of as well. And you're there one night. And Daedalus kind of makes his way to you. Bastion.
Hello?
I need you to ask one of the mages something for me.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. What do you need me to ask them?
I know you came in with one of them.
That was interesting.
You and yours have actually been kind of welcome. It's been nice to have new people here. You, of course, know about the warnings. If you make anyone pregnant, if you have a child.
Yes.
Yes.
We've been very briefed on that.
Okay. If you could go tell probably Lear, perhaps, I need a token to get into the Aegis.
A token
Lear
to
will
get
understand
into...
what that means.
Oh, okay. All right. You need me to do it right now?
If you could soon. They want me to repair some things.
Okay. All right. I will head that way. Bastion's gonna head that way.
Hunter.
Yeah, what's up?
As you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and the nice thing about this place having used to be a covenant, there's actually some really kind of nice, elaborate ones. How have you been feeling since what you had to do a few months ago?
kind of like raw and empty.
So you look at yourself in that mirror, sort of waiting to go. You see Daedalus kind of walking back, like from. Like Daedalus doesn't generally go to the tavern to have a drink. Very, very rarely. But you see him coming out of the tavern, like walking back towards his workshop.
Yo, Daedalus.
Kind of stops, like looks in the window. Hunter.
What's going on? You're usually not out and about. Is there more
I need to go and repair
bowl?
some things. There's a small problem. I can't get into the Covenant proper.
Oh,
How are you since what happened?
I mean, I'd like to think that there wasn't another way we could have done something, you know? That was the only option in that moment.
Hunter, in my life I've seen a lot of death. And I've caused more than a few.
But also you're old, right? Like
I am
really old.
extremely old.
I mean, at that point it's like a numbers game.
Well, I think a lot of people here will get old and have to kill people. I have 2 sons that are dead because of me. I have others that I've killed, and some of those deaths I can look back and say I did the right thing. Others will haunt me until the day that I die. You need to figure out what the difference is for you. Because death, once the mages are here, things happen when magi live around. You never know if you'll be needed. And you never know what they're going to need.
Well, I mean, it's either this or going back to living on the run, so
It's better than that. You should learn to forgive yourself. All right, Sarah. Also, go ahead from what happened the last couple sessions. Go ahead, give yourself a total of 3 confidence, which is your current max.
What's going? And then vitals in combat.
I think it's under description. You're doing your work. You've been studying. You've got a couple, like the book you've been reading. You have a couple others there that you're using to kind of reference when there's a knock at the door, which there's not often a knock at the door unless it's one of the other mages. But the other mages don't knock quite so timidly.
Come in.
The door slowly opens. Miss Lear, have we
You're the bard. Come in.
just kind of like sleeks in, closes the door, and stands there. I was sent by Daedalus. He said he needs a token for the Aegis.
So here's the thing Lear's going to know immediately. You don't need a token to get into the Aegis unless you are magical. Like a Fae would not be able to come in with that. You can't have magical spells and stuff come through. The thing is, you do know Daedalus is thousands of years old. Is like maybe 1,500 or so years old. He at this point is probably essentially a magical creature. He's done a lot of repairs and such in this area, and he is a master kind of stone carver, inventor, etc.
I see. Did he say why?
He said you'd know why.
I suppose I'm going to speak to him. You may go.
Couldn't get out of there quicker.
I still can't find confidence on the sheet, guys. I'm not.
I'll double check it.
it's a crunchy game. The sheets are indecipherable.
Oh, it's on your main page. It's up by where age, season, year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you
So
got
add 3.
Yeah, no,
I'm already
not add 3. It's total of 3. 3's the max.
Okay.
All
right.
You go to see Daedalus.
Mm-hmm.
He's in his workshop and he's got like you notice he's got some parts of it that he's brought out is essentially like plans for the Covenant itself. He's got several places marked, and some of the places that are marked are places you've seen could probably use a little bit of work. Like this place has been mostly abandoned for like 20 years or so because people wouldn't necessarily go into what used to be the mages parts, even when there were people still living here. Like the miners and such were doing some mining, making some stuff there. That is kicked up, but he's got like some places that are prepared for doing some extra work.
I don't knock until I'm already through the door. I'm like,
yes, he kind of turns, he's looking over and goes, Lear?
why did you send a boy to collect a token from me?
Well, small problem. I can't go and collect it from you myself.
Why do you need it?
Well, as he kind of like points at the places here, he goes, you're aware that the laboratories and stuff that you've been in that area has been mostly abandoned because people don't forget when mages used to be in a place. Now, for you, going in there is not a problem. For the rest of the people, it was, which means even stone and the other work you've had has fallen into a little bit of disrepair over the years. I need to be able to go in, check things, and essentially see what repairs need to be made and make them.
Why ask me? You
Right.
know, Penn would do it without question. Why me?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize there was a problem where someone would do it with question. You are trading a little bit on my fame. There have been mages and such that have come to speak with me.
A little bit on your fame. I see. If you could get this, you would. And it sounds like you could get this.
I was saying, the tokens are things you made when you cast the Aegis of the Hearth. So you have tokens for it. As he just kind of looks at you and there he goes, I need to get one from one of you. I found one of the people who came with one of you, and Bastion was the first one I saw.
I see. Fine. Fine. I will have one for nightfall for you.
Thank you. And by the way, if you need some work done, sorry.
Is this something that like? Is this something we can't get back? Is like the token something like there's only like one of them?
No, you have a bunch. Like you basically you created a number of tokens that you can give to visiting magi. You can like if there's a reason for someone to be able to, if they're a mage, sort of cast spells within it, or let's say a local fairy dignitary is coming, maybe giving them one so that they can actually enter, because you basically have a bubble of magic resistance around like a good portion of Covenant. He's kind of deep enough in where the mines are that he's not affected there, but he also can only come so close because he's essentially your master stoneworker, master craftsman here. He just can't get into parts of the Covenant right now.
So I think I returned to my lab. What was he about to say to me?
Oh, I don't recall. Because if you have work you need done with your laboratories, speak with me at some time. I might be able to help improve what's there.
Good to know. Next time, Daedalus, just come find me.
I
Don't
can't.
send a boy.
I literally cannot enter the Covenant. It kind of looks like you forget I am 1,500 years old. I'm not a part of the Fae, but I'm a magical creature now. I've been around too long. I'm in too many myths. Which means that spell you put up is a door for me.
I see. Right. All right, and I return my lab
All right.
to get the token.
Okay. Fix those cameras a little bit. All right. So coming up shortly, I'll fix that thing with we have difference on the sizes there. So one of the things that will be that you need to do here shortly is actually go and kind of collect your vis. So I know Aquam is one of the magic things that you use.
Mhm.
So it is also one that's kind of most highly connected to you. One of the things I put in Apano Maria, if you go into possessions and go down, there is a V-Source, an Aquam one for you. The Crystal Fish. There is a lake. There's like a mirror lake inside, like kind of deeper in the forest, that essentially is part of your job is to harvest. Each of you have got like a certain weeks that you'll go, and for everyone else, if you want to decide, like end up deciding what it is you collect, because it's something that is magical. In this case, there's a mirror lake where there's fish when caught by hand will turn to crystal when removed from the lake. Those crystal fish are aquam vis, and it's like a fairly small lake. It's not terribly deep. It requires a bit of doing to actually go in and get all that stuff, and it's better to do it during the summer than the winter because it's cold on that one. But like at some point you're gonna have to go and essentially harvest these.
Should I be? Am I going right now? You think?
Well, we'll say this is something you'll be doing like in the next day or two, and we'll say like at least there's some people going with you, at least Bastion and Hunter. Hunter knows the area well. I will say one thing you're gonna know: Bastion has got the tier of the Ice Queen, the Fairy Queen. There, that is a source of Whis. That is a source that is Fae in origin. That might be a way to get the attention of some. I know one of the things you want to do is meet the local fairy court. That might be a way to get some attention of the Fae.
I go to find Bastion.
Bastion?
I think Bastion is just performing at one of the local eateries.
Whatever the medieval version of David Buster's is, right?
Yeah, whatever. Just in there playing the lyre, just like.
Would Hunter be in there as well?
Yeah, probably. I'm assuming if Daedalus walked by, I might have been like, all right, time to go drink about
To
this.
stop moping. So yeah, as Lear walks
No,
in,
continue to mope,
Okay.
but with alcohol.
I'm gonna mope with alcohol and be all sexy. So if someone comes, hi, you look really mysterious and damaged. Is there
Killed
a
someone.
Mrs. Hunter? Yeah, and when Lear comes in, there's a moment like the song is still playing. Would you be like, are you using your enchanting music on this, or just sort of singing?
I don't think he'd be enchanting. He's just trying to get some extra coin.
To be fair, go ahead and make a roll to see how well you've been doing. With it's a simple die.
So enchanting music or just music sing?
Just music sing.
Okay, music sing.
You haven't kind
Simple
of like
die.
engaged pretty well. Yeah, as like I said, like an average. Yeah, this is you're a little bit above average here. Like 12 is a hard. So yeah, you're singing well. You're having a good night. People are drinking. There has been a little bit. It's been like 2 months, but there is still a little bit of a. People are aware that there is an empty table somewhere here in the Covenant. They're aware that they lost one of their own in a way that like all of them are a little bit afraid that something might happen to them too, because those or to ones that they love, because a lot of them still don't understand a lot about being a lycanthrope because they just lose essentially 3 evenings a month. They just lose who they are, and then hope they're not pulled into whatever God, what was the name of the now deceased one? Story drop. Gaston. They don't necessarily know if they're going to get pulled into like what Gaston did, because Gaston was one of the guards, normal person. So You're not singing well enough, however, that when Lear comes in, there isn't also just another little bit of a chill kind of goes through. It just things feel a little more quiet than they were a moment before.
I think
think when
I-
Lear walks in, he just stops playing.
Just sort of continue. Go
Yeah.
ahead, and people kind of like pull their eyes from it. You see, like there's like drinks happening. People seem to be drinking deeply, maybe a little deeper than they were a moment ago. Lear, you hang out. You stay near the back.
yeah.
Yeah, you know that like if people can kind of forget you're there, if they're noticing something else, it won't bother them so much. It's the kind of thing where if you are kind of hidden in a group of people, it's a thing where if they don't notice you or know what you are, it is a way to or know who not to know what you are, but if you're just like a person in a crowd, someone else may not necessarily notice you. But yeah, so you continue playing Bastion.
Yeah, he's playing. I assume that 10 has now dropped to like an 8
No,
because
you're
he's just
yeah.
he's panicking
Yeah.
because Lear's there.
Yeah, you're kind of going through. You finish up for a bit of a break. People are ordering stuff to drink. Food's being brought out.
Okay. Yeah, I think once everybody like he plays for a little bit longer and then he puts the Lear away. He's like, "Thanks everybody, have a good night." Like the showman thing to do. Grabs
Waitresses.
his little hat and like folds it up and puts it in his pocket and off he goes.
Does he go outside the tavern?
Yeah.
I think Lear follows him outside. Boy,
It's like that anime scene where the hair just like goes up on the back of his neck, like all the way to the. He's like, yeah, yes, Ms. Lear. What can I do for you?
we chat.
That's what we're doing right now.
You have an interesting token.
Yeah. Question: he got this from her when he played, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like from the Fairy Queen, right?
Yeah.
As I recall, you took it from her cheek, or did she hand it to you?
She
I
handed
think
it to
she,
him.
she handed me. You don't take things from her.
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
With that kind of roll, maybe you could. It's like I remember that roll was amazing.
Mhm.
he like grabs it and looks at, oh, yeah, I've had this since the night you guys showed up.
That is a very valuable item.
Uh, is it?
Seems to me that with the playing you do, you are in need of funds.
Um,
Not
I'm,
saying you're not good, but
I'm just trying to make it.
I will pay you handsomely for that.
Um, I, why?
Because it is wasted on you.
Oh.
What is it? What does it do?
What does it do, Michael?
Um, essentially, it's just a kind of a piece of raw magic. Like the least you go and get is essentially imagine like if at a basic level, like you killed a magical creature, it maybe has
Yeah.
like a magical tiger that maybe it's got in its fangs. You can concentrate the magic in there. Then you have that. You can use it as sort of raw magic. You can study. You can do other things. Lease is kind of like think of them kind of like batteries for mages. They are relatively rare. Um, However, I will say, Bastion, you sort of feel there's almost just a coldness there. It feels a little bit heavy against your throat in a way that this thing is yours. It was meant to be with you, and you can almost hear her through it.
Uh, as much as I would love to, I
It
can't I can't part with this.
I hate that idea.
You
Just
notice
being able
him
to
like
hear that.
Understand.
he's like I think Sarah froze. Oh nope, there she goes. Okay.
All right. Hey,
He's
I understand.
You notice him clenching it like extremely tight.
Young man. Bastion, wasn't it? There are forces greater than yourself that would do some very unkind things to get a hold of that. You are very talented. However, I'm offering you kindness and generosity in return for that. The people who might find you may not be so kind. I'm not threatening. I'm not warning. I am making you aware. Bear that in mind. You don't have to decide now, but bear that in mind.
You notice Bastion's face is like starting to get like that pale like color, and he kind of like puts his head down and he's like, as scared of you as I am, I'm more scared of her.
Who was her?
I don't know her name. All I know is that I played my lyre, and she cried and took her tear and handed it to me. And then she gave me the baby back.
I see.
Baby. Sorry. I shouldn't do that. I know better. I just can't. I feel it just welling when you say baby back.
If I cannot make you give it, or I buy it from you, so be it. But I would hide that if I were you.
See him like pull his shirt out and tuck it in. It's like, okay.
Good lad.
Slight warmth goes through you. She's not in your dreams every night, but she does seem to visit on occasion, and those are good dreams. Not necessarily like that.
This is
sometimes
for the face,
probably, but
this is the face for normal dreams. I did have a friend once who had prophetic dreams, but they were only about what I was going to spill on myself that day. Like, to a T, perfect. He'd be like, it's going to be corn tortilla soup today. And I'd be like, bullshit. It's not even corn tortilla soup day in the cafeteria. And then all of a sudden a professor would be like, Nessa, come to lunch with me. And I'd be eating corn tortilla soup out with professor and being like, how did this happen?
What a very...
It's the world's most useless superpower. I can tell what's going to spill on Nessa.
One time it came in handy. He was like, "You're gonna spill a highlighter is going to explode on you tomorrow." And I was like, "Okay." I was gonna wear my favorite shirt. Actually, it was this shirt. And I was like, "Not gonna wear this shirt tomorrow because I don't want it covered in highlighter.
Aww.
It's not coming out." And it didn't come out.
All right, I walk away then. Leave Bastion there.
You did hear this, Hunter. Like, you were nearby.
Oh, you know, I was looking out the window because I was like, maybe I'll see another death. Sorry, no, hang on. Mother coffee dog god, maybe I'll see another death.
Hunter is like turning emo.
He killed a guy last session. There'd been a person behind Gaston. That person also would have died.
Yeah, I think Bastion's just gonna be like, well, thank you for the advice, but is there anything else you need?
I think Lear reaches into her purse and pulls out a silver piece and hands it to him. For your trouble.
Hey, thank you.
And you do know the next day you'll be going to do some Vs hunting. If he's got a little bit of the Fae with him, that might actually make finding it easier. Like getting the fish and such easier. You know, it's been useful for you, even though it's a pain to pull.
All right. And then so Lear walks off back to her laboratory.
All right. Yeah, it is coming at the point where you are supposed to go and harvest some vis. For each of you will have during one season a time where you go and you collect a certain amount of vis. You've got some vis stores. Again, it can usually take a few days. Some of them a couple hours, sometimes a couple days. Most of them will be relatively close by, but at some point, like the stocks of vis you have are important for, like, if you're creating magical items, you need them. You can use them to study magic as well, which has a mix because it's like a stress die plus, I think it's how much vis you use. It also, if you cast a ritual spell, you need vis for those. So yeah, you're gathering up some folks to go into search, or rather, to go to the lake to pull them. How do you let
Sarah,
the people know they're going with you?
I was gonna say, I think Thordak has just been talking to you about how great Hunter is.
Oh, my head canon is that every night when Thordak is drinking, like anytime he sees Hunter, he's like, and that's the big boy right there. This guy kills everything. Just
Your friends. Yeah. Meanwhile,
if you need job done, you get this guy right here
I gotta stop drinking at this bar.
every night.
It's the only bar.
It's not a particularly big place. There's really only a place to drink.
Yeah, I gotta stop drinking. Maybe I'll start drinking at home.
Yeah. So I on Thordak's recommendation, I take Hunter and I bring Bastion along as well. As he is he's like touched by the Fae.
I'm assuming also some randoms.
Yeah.
There'll be some other guards. Because it's generally
Need some
like,
people to throw in there.
Yeah, it's one of those things where catching them by hand. I mean, Hunter would actually be someone probably pretty good at doing that, and Bastion having like your Fey nature brings some of the fish and stuff towards you, because you are kind of close to a Fey Regio when you go out there. But as of yet, you've not really met the local Fey. You know that they're out there. You've seen some. There's a few things left of some old books that were from mages. You're not entirely sure what happened here. At some point, we should do like a one shot, maybe with maybe Downfall or something, and maybe play out what happened with the previous mages. And do like a one shot where it's just like, we'll play what happened to mages here like 30 years ago. Not
Finally
a lot,
play my emo guy.
Yeah. Not a lot of them have been. Not a lot of stuff was left over, but there are records of where some of these things are, and there is a thing that this is kind of near the local Fey court. And Hunter, you know where this is at, and it's fairly deep in the woods, but you're of course really good with all that stuff.
I don't think Hunter is super like superstitious about it, but I kind of while I was making sad art for Hunter, I did kind of like headcanon that he has like a sister who has, or maybe like a sister and aunt or an aunt who has like a werewolf condition, and that's why the family ended up moving here.
Do me a favor, just make a note of that somewhere in the character description.
Yeah, okay, I'll make a note. But I think if it is a little sister, I think maybe he brings like some trinkets or something with it, because the sister would have been like insistent, like you gotta, or even the aunt might, because if she's an older wife, be like, you have to bring a gift.
Yeah. So for anybody else, well, because a gift to go and catch fish.
It's superstition. Just throw some milk in the woods. Like,
oh yeah.
This is what you guys like, right?
As a response for that, yeah, there'll definitely be some of those superstitions. Yeah, if you come up with ideas for your grogs, throw stuff in the description so that if you or someone else plays them in the future, you have like here's the notes we've made on them.
Oh yeah, I'll put that in. I'll figure out whether it's an aunt or a sister later.
I do think that once Bastion has been informed that they're going to an area that might have Fae, he brings like a box of sweets and cakes.
The good cake.
like the silver that Lear gave him is spent. He just like he's got a box that he's carrying.
We're not going to a dinner. Yes.
Oh, those aren't for us.
They're not for you.
Nah.
They're not for us.
You have to bring a whole thing. I brought some buttons and half a cupcake.
These aren't for us.
Oh, I'm assuming if they're not for us, they're for.
Don't say it.
Yeah, no, I'm gesturing, you piece of shit.
I'm making sure that if anything goes sideways, we'll get out fine.
I mean, these are some good buttons, though. Look at this. This one's got like a little. It's not actually a gem, but it looks like a gem. Hmm.
Mm. It's very, very, very nice button.
Pretty good button. I don't know. I heard they like buttons, right? Who doesn't like a button?
Who told you Faye like buttons?
My sister. She said to bring buttons, and then she said to bring sweets or something, or milk. I don't know.
Yeah, one of the things that Fae tend to like are, I mean, things like food is actually like a weirdly often.
I mean, who doesn't love food?
Yeah, important thing. Things like that. Like, here's the thing, Sarah. This is what you'll know. What the Fae tend to like are things that human creativity, care, and skill have been put into, and particularly things that nourish life, in one respect or another.
Hopefully they like buttons, because everyone likes food, and also
Oh,
everyone likes
God.
buttons.
Ness, I just had an idea I'm going to put into the Discord for you about pen.
Oh, good about pen.
Oh,
Also, look at
boy.
the meme I made you while you're in the
I
Discord.
saw that. I was laughing at it.
Daedalus, I'm respecting your privacy by knocking, but asserting my authority as your magi by coming in anyway. So, the Mirror Lake itself is, as you go in, there's like a cave on one side of it. It's not huge. It's a relatively small lake, and there are fish that seem to come in like from underneath, perhaps like where the cavern goes, because like the cavern kind of comes down to a very small place. Even in like it's the right kind of cool when you go into it. That's probably a real thing. It's the right kind of cool when you go into it. However, what sucks is like the fish that go through they'll kind of come around, but the little fuckers like to like not be where your hands are the moment you try to grab them. Who all is helping trying to actually pull the fish out of the water?
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, maybe I do think, despite also being emo now, Hunter is a little cocky. Could he try to? Do these fish need to be alive? Do we need them alive?
They are supposed to be caught by hand.
Oh, okay, never
Use
mind.
nets.
I was maybe gonna try to shoot one with a bow, with like the rope attached like a Disney film, and then you reel it back in.
Yeah,
But no, okay, then catching it is.
So, are these like fey fish?
They're fish, but the thing is, once you grab one by hand and pull it out, it turns crystal. And there's only
As
so
a
many
magic fish.
And this is one of those things where you'll know there's only so many you can take because you don't want to. There's a good deal of like water magic here. If you take too much of it, like there's a problem. Like you want to make sure that it's essentially sustainable.
Yeah, so I'm like kneeling by the pond, like my hands in the water, like trying to catch the fish.
And our Hunter and Bastion doing the same.
Yeah.
Bastion, you'll notice that
I drop one of my buttons in for luck.
The way that some of them are coming towards Lear, like Lear, there's a bunch of them kind of come. They can kind of feel the is it Nearad? Is your part Nearad?
Yeah.
Okay, like that part of it, they kind of sense that they come near. Bastion, as you kind of come closer, there's a few of them make their way kind of closer to where you're at. Hunter, they're not necessarily coming like as you leave the gathering, if you leave the sacrifice for them in the water, like you take the bit of the food and such in there. There are a couple that kind of come your way. If all three of you want to make a hunt roll real quick, see if you're having much luck there.
If I don't have hunt, what do I roll?
Hunt, I think, is normally done with dexterity. If you want to make a dexterity check just to try to grab the little bastards.
Simple or stress?
Simple.
Yeah. 5.
7.
775. Yeah, it's one of those things where Lear, you're having a little bit of a problem. I mean, thankfully, this is one where because they're coming close to you, it's easier. But the other two is you start kind of capturing some, and as you pull them out, it's extremely weird for you. As it goes from this thing flopping your hand, you pull it out of the water, and suddenly, it looks perfect. but it's now kind of crystallized. So it's about the same weight, but it suddenly goes dead in your hand from a thing that was flopping just a moment ago.
So how many of these do we need?
And you know
7.
you know about how many is you're grabbing them. Lear, you're the first one who sort of sees something in a moment. There's some eyes looking at you kind of from further in the depths. And then for the three of you, it's almost as if like a whirlpool grabs and pulls you down.
We all fall into the water?
Mm-hmm.
Are we like swirling with it?
It's almost like it's grabbed you. It's just, you kind of like, the thing is you're not being pulled into water. You're kind of being pulled. It's almost as if you're going down the middle of a whirlpool.
Okay.
Like as you're coming down there, almost like a slide, and you're going like underneath the cave. And then
Bastion is screaming. And
you end up in a
not again
in a kind of a really still, kind of peaceful pool of water that you come up in, that you can see through it. Other like the cavern entrance on the other side, there is kind of a magnificent forest on the other side, and there is a person probably 2.5, 3 feet tall, who is like got like a large pair of wings behind them. The entire self seems almost made out of like wood. It has around her neck a small mirror. She goes, Our Lady has asked you to come.
Do I recognize this person?
It's a fae. Not one you know. It seems to be like a wood spirit of some sort. The mirror is probably like symbol of like the local court.
Who is your lady?
The Queen of Gold and Glass. She wishes to speak with you.
It's been a crazy week.
Shall I leave my companions here?
No, they should come. Not with you. We wish to show them, and it kind of looks at the two of you, looks at Bastion, and goes, "You were kissed by the Ice Queen. You wear her favor. We love to know of the court."
What?
And then looks over at Hunter, and goes, "And you, the kin killer."
Ew. I mean, I knew Gaston kinda okay. I don't think he was a king.
Kin
Kin.
killer.
Oh, kin. I thought you said king. I was
Sorry. Kin killer. You, the kin killer. The wolves have told us of you.
Is that all you need to get in here? Because there's a lot of kin killers back in the human world. Also, I think this one is for you. I only brought 3, so, and I already gave one to the river. So you can have the button that looks like an acorn.
And your little sister gave it to you?
Yeah.
And just smells it for a moment and just goes, "Off of a favorite dress worn in the summer. Popped off while playing in the fields.
Ew.
Stone? I sense much stone around it. Building? Something?"
Potentially, we got a lot of stone buildings.
Excellent. Please, come.
I'm like looking at Bastion like, help.
Bastion's just looking at Hunter like a pure, like, ghost white face, just pure terror. Like, I don't want to go back.
I turn to both of them. You will be silent. You will let me talk. I will get both of you out of here alive. You have my word.
Sarah, do you remind us to not eat anything? Because we're not supposed to eat stuff, right?
I think you should be quiet. Don't metagame.
I know. It's the number one rule. Don't eat stuff.
Be quiet. Follow my lead. Do you understand? And so I follow the little tiny wood fae.
Okay.
Oh god, I forgot they're small. That makes it worse.
Yeah, and the wood as you head kind of out there, there's 2 roads. It kind of forks. One of them leads to, you kind of see up on this hill, this gleaming, beautiful, like all made of like shiny reflective metal castle. And the other side, you can hear, like further down, you can hear music and what sounds like the sounds of celebration. And she looks at you, Lear, and just goes, "The Queen wishes only to speak with you. You are one of the new mages who've taken residence.
I am.
She's very excited to meet you. You are one of us.
I am.
And you two, if you wish to come, we'll show you our fairs. We'll show you so many wonders we have."
Sebastian's just having like a PTSD episode, right? Like, because it's exactly like how it was.
Bastion's just like going along in the hopes that he will be able to sing himself out of this again.
I will return shortly. Be safe.
Should we go to the fair?
Go to the fair.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe I'll find a replacement button.
All right. I follow the little fairy
Yeah.
for the castle.
Yeah, and she takes you. Takes you one way. Takes the Hunter and Bastion the other. Hunter and Bastion. As you kind of go through like a little bit of woods, then there is like a number of tents. They're singing. You pass by that there is people, like all sorts of things you have never seen before. You see satyrs. You see satyrs, you see those that are winged, some that look human, but maybe sometimes a little too tall, a little too slender, and often very beautiful.
Are they different from the ones that I saw at the other court?
The one at the other court the ones at the other court were kind of terrifying.
Okay.
Like these ones actually, like the winter court thing you'd seen before, those ones just being there, they felt more like monsters. These feel, there's much more whimsical, much more kind of inviting with how they seem.
Okay.
I mean, but also to be fair, the queen was just extremely long. And so there's tall people here.
Yeah. And
Bastion's just gonna lean into Hunter like as they're walking, be like, "This is very different from the last time I was in the Fae realm."
I'm not gonna lie, man. I should hope so. I don't want to talk out of town, but I've heard rumors about what happened. One of your friends has got a real talky mouth, and it's not sound fun.
I believe that was the one Ibrahim played.
I no, I was gonna say that was my character, and I don't know.
Oh.
She just lost her dad. I feel like she's probably running her mouth a little bit.
Okay. Oh, we
and
shouldn't be rude.
some of them, as you go through, some start to notice you, and you start to hear some whispers. And there's one that comes up who's probably about 6.5 feet tall, very, very slender, like beautiful, almost to the point where they might seem like they would break in too strong of a wind, like but thin in a wispy way. Kind of comes forward, a small mirror at her right breast. She's like, looks at you and goes, "You are the Ice Queen's favorite."
I don't know if I'm the favorite.
Please come. And then the looks over at Hunter. Another one comes and goes, "And the King Killer, the wolves have sung of you."
Does it mean just a fellow human, or you meant the other way?
No, one of you, someone who's connected, part of your community, your people.
Oh, thank God. I was about to leave here and have a really long conversation with my dad.
No, come. And they're kind of like motioning you into a tent where they're like, you hear some music being played inside, and there is cries of "yeah!" It's like along with it. It seems like there's like a really raucous party going on in there.
Okay.
Bastion follows.
All right,
Nothing bad could happen here. We're having a good time.
Lear.
Mm.
Um, the kind of wood spirit leaves you or like at the entrance to it, like the two huge mirrored doors. You can see the two of you both perfectly, and as you look back, like it is kind of amazing how far back you can see in this. Like everything is incredibly clear, um, and there is, she just looks at you and she goes, "Knock, they'll be here for you." She's very much looking forward to making your acquaintance again. It's been so long since we've had a mage here again.
I've heard.
And the door kind of slowly opens, and looking out at you, the man that you see is, well, you can tell the Fae on him. Like this is the most butler you've ever seen. Like dressed just to the nines, and kind of like a butler thing. Like all of it is absolutely perfect. Body held extraordinarily still. Looks at you, and how tall is Lear?
Uh, maybe 5'9".
Okay.
Not super tall.
Yeah, looks at you, looks kind of, down on you because he's fairly tall. Looks down and he goes, "Ah, the missus was very happy for you to come here. Please, I'm a butler. Come with me."
I follow him.
And there's just a moment where it just kind of looks over you, and then just goes, You have our blood. You have our people's smell on you. Are you from the Fae?
I am. I was raised
Oh,
by the Fae, and I'm half Fae myself. The
Excellent.
humans decided not to keep me.
Well, you have a great amount of power, a great amount of prestige now. As one of the heads of the Covenant, we're very pleased to meet you. And kind of takes you into a room where like this is a bedroom that's kind of like beautifully made up, and there is like a large wardrobe, and he kind of looks at you and is like, "The Queen of Golden Glass finds appearances very important. Here are a number of very wonderful dresses that will do better than, I'm assuming you're probably wearing like robes are relatively common for the Magi just because they're easy and they're warm, and they don't mind if you're working for long hours and something.
Mm-hmm.
Were you wearing that, or were you wearing something like for the woods?
I'm wearing a cloak and probably like trousers of some sort, just because like it is woods work. I will change to something more appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you. When you open up he kind of like leaves, the door shuts on its own, and as it when you open up the wardrobe, it is full of like a ton of gorgeous gowns and such, and as you're sort of like looking through, they all appear to be something that will fit you.
Am I aware of anything about I know that the food thing is. Am I aware about anything other like tricks that they might pull on their own kind, or anything like that?
Not necessarily. This is one of those things where like accepting a gift can possibly be dangerous. Accepting a gift can possibly be dangerous, but like wearing something temporarily would not necessarily be considered a gift.
You're borrowing.
Yeah, I pluck the first dress I find out of the closet and put it on.
Yeah, and as he kind of takes you in, you go by, you see like as you come out, kind of again dressed much fancier. You go by, you see people like others working like cooks and other things in there. A lot of them seem kind of hazy, like they almost don't quite have a shape in your appearance until you take kind of a closer look, and then you see them snap into cooks and maids and other things. The butler wasn't like that. The butler was kind of always very, very clear.
very busy area. Surprised that you haven't reached out before to the Covenant.
Well, it's much easier if you come to us. Or if you come to us, I'm aware that the Covenant itself has some magics that protect it.
Indeed.
And takes you into like a room that when the door opens as he comes through it, you're kind of brought into a throne room. And he kind of stands by the side for a moment and kind of gives you kind of a partial bow. And you see the queen sitting up on the like a dais that leads to a chair.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe not what you would expected. She's tall. She's broad-shouldered. Looks to be early 20s. Red hair, kind of piercing. Like it's a very. She looks human. But as you're looking, you're seeing that she seems to be wearing a cloak made out of strips of leather and animal hide. Has a thorn at her right shoulder. The dress underneath, very form-fitting. Some sort of a linen with purple thread that's sleeveless. Really kind of sturdy boots. There's like it's tooled on the upper surfaces and everything, but everything looks a little slightly translucent. Like she looks like something kind of ancient, like not a current person, but someone possibly from hundreds of years ago. And she seems a little bit paler than she should be.
Your Majesty.
She stands and makes her way down and goes, "You'd be one of the mages."
I am Lear of House Marinitas.
So nice to make your acquaintance. I'm the Queen of Golden Glass. She leads the hand towards you.
Take her hand.
It is cold to the touch, but she kind of shakes it. Goes, "Here, please." And there is there's a table over on the side with 2 chairs on either side.
Take a seat. How can I help you, my lady? Your Majesty.
You've been fishing in my pond.
We are in need of buoys. It's a common way to get it, especially for myself.
I understand. Something fairly common. However, I would wish to make a connection between my people and yours, as I did with the predecessors.
Of course.
And we cut back. Bastion and Hunter. The two of you come into the tent. It is filled with like almost everywhere you look, there is a different shape, a different type. You see wings, you see thorns, horns, some that look human, some that look bestial, almost. And all of them are there's one up there who is singing, and the one who is singing looks relatively human. Just in a few places you can see what looks like some moss and some wood sort of growing out of part of their like the arms and some of the legs. So as they're singing, one of them kind of finishes up and he just sort of looks and goes, "We have guests! Oh, human guests. It's been too long. But you," and like everyone kind of stops and turns and looks at the two of you. And comes up and goes, "You have stories. Oh, you both have stories. Please, we must." And he kind of like makes a motion for you towards the stage where he's at.
I mean, I feel like I'm not in a place to say no to this guy, so I guess here we go.
All right.
The Bastion also goes up to the stage, and he's just like, "Oh no,
Not again."
And he goes, "You each have stories that we wish to know. We've heard from the wolves about you and your tragedy."
Wolves are really fucking chatty, huh?
And like the laughter that goes through it goes, "Humans have no idea. Wolves speak constantly. Wolves often won't shut up. They normally have nothing to say, but you gave them something to say. And then you, the Ice Queen, we've not seen her for an age. Her favor's upon you."
she, yeah, she was She liked me.
And looks at the laughter. He takes a step off of the stage and looks at both of you and goes, like, comes through and they're like some of them bring wine. He does a thing, grabs some wine, takes a drink because he'd been singing previously, kind of makes a motion for some more, and then goes, "Please, your stories. We will regale you with many stories of here, but yours are new to us. If you could please tell us them."
You want me to go first, man? I feel like the last time you were in this situation, it was kind of I mean, it went well, but like,
It didn't go well. My whole town was destroyed.
I mean, you lived.
Yeah, you do it.
This guy. Uh, okay, I guess. Well, once upon a time. Oh God, there's music to this.
He's got kind of like a lyre thing. He starts to kind of play underneath, and you feel a little more free with that music.
I was waiting for my friend Gaston to come back from the woods, as you know, the wolf people often do. And usually everybody comes back, but he didn't come back. He was missing, and so my we went to go. I'm believing I'm remembering this right, but we went to go look for him, and he was different. I don't know what changed about him, but he was more wolf than man, I guess. I forgot to change back, and so we got him and brought him to the back home. You know, think maybe we could do something. We could fix him, make him better, and you know, there was a lot of talk about what should be done, how should it be done. I left one of our elders with him. I was the one I had tied him up and ran to go get the one of the magi. I was told I shouldn't, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
And as he's playing along, like here's the weird thing for Bastion. You notice it is layering with Hunter's voice in a way that feels perfect, in a way that wouldn't normally make sense.
Improv.
And you finish telling your story?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm, you know, yada, yada, yada. Killed him in the woods. Didn't have a choice. Anyway.
Yeah, and there's a moment where all of them kind of just take a moment, and as he comes up, he's given some like glasses of wine, and he hands them each to you, and he goes, "The death of a friend, however necessary, is never easy." Say his name.
Gaston. And then
And they all go, Gaston, and the entire...
I don't think Hunter knows, so Hunter's gonna drink. I flipped a coin. I was like, heads he doesn't drink, tails he drinks, and tails, so hopefully it's good at least.
And yeah, they all go to Gaston, and there's just this moment, and he turns, and you have your instrument, you've got your instrument with you. What kind of instrument was it, or
A lyre.
a lyre? And your like his looks like much better. Like yours is one that you could buy or create yourself in a small village in the middle of nowhere. He takes his and he hands it to you, and goes, "You made the Ice Queen cry. We've heard a bit. Could you also bring this to us?"
He's having a minor panic, but he's like, I will certainly regale you the way that I played for her.
Okay. You want to begin chatting? Do you tell the same story that was told then, or do you tell maybe what had happened in the village?
I think he tells the story of them going in, the story that involves the turtle man fighting the things in the river, and then the court, like
Oh.
in detail, and how he pacified them with his song.
All right.
Oh, and the turtle man.
If you want to make your roll,
Enchanting music.
you're gonna have a +3 on there because of the queen's favor.
No.
Ooh, nice. Any bonuses for using his thingy?
+1 there.
All right.
I'm keeping an eye on this. If you roll high enough, I think Hunter's gonna have an epiphany about like his life.
And then this is, I'm assuming this is stress.
Yeah, make it a stress die. As they all kind of lean in. And
13.
all right. 13 is hard. You give a hell of a performance. I think it was like 16 was what you rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't like as good as you did last time, but
He's nervous.
yeah, you're nervous in a different way than you were back then, and there also wasn't the need to bring the child back. As you start to, as you start to sing, like tears happen throughout. Like there is just like a thing of wonderment. You have all of these creatures, absolutely, like there with you in the moment. Hunter, for you, since this is an enchanting music, this is more than just simply a person singing. This is, I mean, how does it describe it? I think you can actually like command people essentially with it, influence others with its specific effect, calm grieving with tunes alone, but lead a lyric to convince them to rise up against the Lord, for example. What was your roll again?
13.
Yeah, 12 will win someone's love, 15 will incite a riot, and 24 might win a soul from the Prince of Darkness. Yeah, as you go through and you sing, it kind of touches everyone's hearts. Does this unlock anything in Hunter?
I think so. Can I just do first instinct, best instinct?
Mm-hmm.
I think Hunter's in love with you now, Bastion. I think he's like there's a reason that we got sucked down into this together. Is we were meant to be.
Aw.
He doesn't know that. I don't know if he's a confessing type.
Okay. It does not take you quite up to that yet. Steve, do me a favor when I pop back to Sarah. If you want to give Bastion, what's the actual thing? I just went ahead and put like 2 seasons you would have been singing. So I just put for 2 years, two seasons in that one. I just gave you 14 points XP into that. If you want to give 4, 2, and 2, basically 4, 2, and 2 twice into your character.
Okay.
You can go ahead and do that. We won't need to do that with Hunter because Hunter was just introduced last time. We've had
it's been a rough week.
Yeah, we've had Bastion a couple months. We've had Bastion around for a little bit because for the Grogs, we'll essentially be able to update them about once a year with that. So we cut back. Lear, as she looks at you, and she's like, "Your friends are being well met."
I trust they are. I'd expect nothing less.
Telling the story of what happened. Did you meet the Ice Queen?
I did not. We arrived after they had met with her and retrieved the child.
Oh, it's been so long. I've not seen her in a very long time. Would have been nice to hear how she is. I'll have to hear
I've
his
never
song.
had the pleasure.
So, you've been taking some of our fish.
Yes, if that was unwelcome, I will find another place to acquire ways, but I would appreciate the option to do that.
That's very possible. We had a deal in the past, and she sort of looks and come, bring me a pheasant and some wine for you.
I'm still full from breakfast.
Pheasant and wine for her as well. Kind of nods and then heads out, and she goes, "I believe that the two of us can make a deal. I would like to be friends with you, friends with the mazes there, because in the past, those who were here previously were not so kind. You have kinder eyes, and you have a link to me and mine. They come
I
and they
think that
bring
can be
wine and
arranged.
pheasant. And she takes a drink and she starts to like pick at some and eating.
How would I be able to best serve you? I'm used to doing favors for people that need it.
Oh, favors. Favors could be excellent, but I might need to see how worthy you are. You come with me.
All right.
At this point, she's eating like a decent. There's other chit chat's been happening. I'm assuming you have not touched the wine and the food. Yeah, you sort of know better. How drunk are Hunter and Bastion getting on the finest wine you have ever tasted?
Let's say pretty drunk. I'm gonna say 7 out of 10.
Uh, I think Bastion is pacing himself because he's still afraid. Like it's not the sheer terror of the last time he was in a Fae court, but he's still uneasy, so he's trying to keep his sobriety and slightly failing.
All right. Do you want to take a quick bio break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in how long? 5, 10?
Good enough.
Preference?
Sounds good. Yep. Sounds good.
Okay. We will be back shortly. We are going to break. All right, and let me shut that off. We are back. All right. So yeah, you are sort of led into the other room. As you sort of finish thinking, like you've been drinking for a little bit, and then there just comes a moment where all of the fey creatures in the tent and such sort of stop, and they all look kind of out towards the entrance for it. And then you see all of them starting to leave relatively quickly.
Dear, do this. It's not good.
Should we follow them?
I mean, I think they're. Does it seem like they're moving away from something? Like something's coming after them?
It's like something has happened, and they're all leaving very quickly from the tent. Like as you're looking, as the two of you are sort of sitting there, a little bit drunk, a little bit thing. Like they're just like they're not looking at anything else. The cups and stuff are still on the tables. And the food and such is still there. But then like this is including the ones that we're like serving.
Yeah, I think we should go.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, maybe there'll be some extra bodies between us and whatever is about to happen.
Okay. Because they all kind of moved almost as one, as they sort of move, like the two of you are like the last ones inside as you're making your way out. And they're moving like once they get out of the tent, some of them move incredibly fast, not always by foot. As they start to head away, there's a little bit of kind of empty space there, and around you there's some other tents. There's some like almost booths and stuff set up. This looks like a summer fair almost, but then there's like a chill in the air hits you, like everything here has been summery and warm and just kind of beautiful, and then a chill sort of hits you as you look to your left. You can see the road is like the leaves and such are starting to like brown and sort of fall, and there is just a frost making its way down the road in your direction.
Does Bastion recognize this fog?
You feel like you like there's just a chill against your flesh where her tear is, and then you just sort of hear her words, "My love, you've returned."
Oh no. He just looks at Hunter with this like, oh no.
What was happening there?
She's here. She's here.
I mean, she liked your song last time. That's gotta. It might be okay.
And the frost goes underneath your feet, and
Oh.
suddenly you're standing in like an autumnal, like chill around you. Like you look around, and it's very strange because the rest of the world looks bright and sunny and welcoming, but here, this part is cold. And then, Hunter, you hear a bark behind you.
I guess I turned to look at it.
You see a pack of wolves further back. One of them kind of further ahead, looking straight at you, meets your eyes, and goes, "Kin killer, you should speak." Lear.
Mm-hmm.
In the room you're taken into, there is like all sorts of like tables and such set up, and there are kind of all over the place. There are a ton of trinkets and things and like small carvings that are absolutely gorgeous that come throughout. And she sort of turns and she goes, "There is something from here that came from one of you. One of you came before. If you can find it, then I'll know that you're someone that we can work with. I'll know that you have the power necessary."
Necessary. Ayo.
Can I feel anything in particular off any of these? Can I feel a lack of Fae magic on any of
Yes,
these?
there's just a moment where you're as you're sort of starting to feel, but then there's a moment where You're plunged into complete darkness. And then you hear her go, see if you can find it.
All right.
Check your abilities.
I have second sight, where I can break away illusions.
It's illusion of disguise, but you're in the dark. These aren't invisible. There's no light here.
What if the dark is an illusion?
What's penetration?
Penetration's for magic. It's kind of like cutting through someone's magical defense.
Gotcha. All right.
Look at your virtues.
My virtues. Good call.
I think this is one of the changes. I think this is one of the changes you made with all the new stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm giving you a chance to be awesome.
Just an instant. This character with this virtue who has a few seconds to look around a room does not need to make an awareness check or to detect or remember anything of interest in the room's exposed surfaces. So yeah, basically just giving me that glance gave me awareness of everything in there.
Yeah, make a quick magic theory roll, because like, as you're looking around, there's lots of stuff there. This lets you check it as if you were seeing, like basically still able to see. Normally, you're kind of looking, what is something that is
stress die or simple die?
Stress die.
Yeah.
Oh, you rolled a 0. Check for botch.
No bot. No, one botch die.
3.
Okay. So it, thankfully for you, it is one of those things that is not hard to find in the light, because it'd be relatively simple, especially since.
Oh wait a minute. I have another thing I added to my character for just this kind of thing. All according to plan. Once per session, a player whose character has this virtue can reroll a botched dice.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. The character's prepared in advance for this exact. What is your contingency plan? What is the thing that you have?
I think she's got a photographic memory. Like she can she always knows to like really take in the scene, no matter what it is.
Yeah, you sort of just take a moment, kind of think through. There's enough stuff you know about the Fae. Go ahead and make your roll.
Magical theory again?
Mm-hmm. I'd say it could also be your Fae thing, but they're the same, so.
Better.
So, some of the Fae things look rough and rude. Some of them are beautiful, like you've never seen before, because there's a mix. Because one of the things is Fae love story, Fae love things that are alive, that are handcrafted, that are made that way. However, what Fae do not tend to do what mages often do. Mages are exacting, often in a way that can be a little sterile. Not always. But mages can make things in a way that feels like a part of a machine. Something that feels locked in a way that maybe wasn't alive at some point, where the Fae make things that are... BJ says, keeping up the strategy of only rolling well on grogs. I think it's been an interesting strategy, Cotton.
Honestly, this
Lyra's cursed.
Lyra's very cursed.
I would say also remember, you do have confidence. You can use that. That's when I need to remember to start awarding confidence in the middle of things. That's an easier thing to forget, but you've got some of those, but you're good.
Yeah.
There is something in there. It strikes you as if it's a token from a previous cast. Like every time you cast the Aegis to the Hearth, you have new tokens. This feels like a token of a previous one. It's actually, it's kind of like a section of the Covenant. It looks a little bit like your laboratory, actually.
It's like part of the facade of the room, something like that.
Well, it's one of the things on the table. There's certain things that are homes and houses that look very lived in, but this one looks a bit like your laboratory.
I move toward the item. I put my hand on it,
and the lights, suddenly lights blaze back to life, And she just smiles. And she goes, "Oh, that is wonderful."
I'm glad I aim to please.
"Our fish are yours. You know not to take too many."
Of course, I would never.
"There is, however, one small problem.
Hmm.
Your people, they may be stuck here for some time."
Oh, that's not playing very fair.
"Oh, you knew not to drink and eat. They have
But they are
not."
human. But they are human.
Exactly. Cut back. You see the Ice Queen making her way towards you, Bastion. Eyes seem to be only for you. And Hunter, you got the wolves behind.
Can I just say, I think it's hilarious that this is the third person in this game who is in love with Bastion.
Oh, who's the first?
Your character in the first game fell in love with him.
Oh, right.
Was that May?
Yeah.
I forgot that she had like an unrequited thing with him. And now Hunter has an unrequited thing with him.
Nessa just loves Bastion.
Yes.
I love a man with a liar. I love a man who knows a liar. I mean, do I have to go with you? You're wolves.
It walks a little closer to you and goes, "I need to know your mind."
Yeah, and I need a pair of fresh shoes, but I don't get that now, do I?
There's just sort of a moment that you still have your bow and such with you.
Yeah, but also he's talking, so this feels
Yeah.
weird.
Just to let you know. Bastion. What do you do as the queen comes towards you?
So question, did that Fae that gave him the really fancy lyre take it back?
No, you still have it.
Okay. I think Bastion does he see the stuff that's going on with Hunter as well?
Make a concentration roll. You might be a little eyes only on the queen that's been in your dreams.
Don't have concentration, so probably not.
So in that case, roll your, I think,
Perception.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception. I think, what does concentration usually go with?
I think it's perception.
The fun part, intelligence. Roll intelligence. The fun part is skill systems are great until you're trying to remember 6 different goddamn skill systems and going, wait, this one has what?
Stress die?
Yes.
Yeah, he's definitely stressed. Oh.
Oh no.
Exploding.
Oh, that feels like such a kick in the ass.
Exploded to a 4.
Buddy. Oh, that's terrible.
Exploding can hurt you?
2. It can't hurt. It just meant your exploding sucked because you had no extra bonus there. So it's the same as if you rolled a 4. So it's not impressive.
I mean,
it's a waste of an explosion.
It'll happen.
All right, so I assume
sometimes
he
you
doesn't.
Too quick. It happens to everybody.
I
you
assume...
do not notice what's happening with Hunter.
Yeah, I'm busy talking to wolves. It's fine.
I think Bastion notices he still has the really fancy lyre, and he knows that if he can play well enough, she might leave him alone.
Okay.
So what happened? What's happened last time?
I think his first reaction is to just start playing,
just pull it out,
and singing a song like of her beauty or like something to enchant her.
Hunter, the wolf looks at you and just goes, "He wanted to be ours." It was a he, right? I'm trying to remember if it was.
Yeah, I guess I'm a dude.
He wanted to be ours. He wanted to join our hunt. Why could you not let him go?
Are you like a magic wolf? Do you live for a long time?
I am a wolf. I'm of the wild.
So you're like 8 at best, right? Or like 4.
I'm an adult.
Yeah, so
I
that
have
means you
many
don't
children.
remember. You don't remember what happened the last time somebody decided to join you.
I knew one.
Yeah. A long time ago. And do you know what happened?
Then a head kind of cocks as I look up. I used to know this. How long do wolves live? About 16 years. But that's in captivity. 14 years in the wild.
I mean, also, presumably there's like one really lucky wolf out there.
It's like 87 going, I just want to die.
Just like a wolf in the wild who's like, I'm 16, somehow I made it. So you don't know what happened. She got to live the life that she wanted. She got to be wild with you. And then the rest of them got slaughtered.
The ones who joined us on the moon?
Yes.
Why?
Because someone saw what she was doing and they didn't like it. So they sent a priest. I don't claim to know why they do such things, but all I knew was that if he was allowed to join you, the same thing could have happened again.
Steve,
and
go
I
ahead
got
and
people.
roll. Continue. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, go.
Did you say
Why?
Steve? Go ahead and roll.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, do your
Why
magic.
have you not slaughtered us then?
Because you aren't shaped like a human. Can you imagine that if one of you decided to walk into town and wear pants and put on a hat? Oh, exploding to 30.
It's like 2 exploding dice in a row, but this one's like, no, we're gonna make this one count. Holy
I think Hunter's like turning like.
This character is just like.
As a reminder,
is a god.
24 might win back a soul from the Prince of Darkness.
The wolves can shut up. My love is playing. They're wolves. They don't get to judge me. Listen to that guy.
Yeah, like the
Listen to that
song's
boy's
happening.
song!
Yeah, there's a point. It's enchanting, so you probably both at some point just sort of stop and sort of just turn and are watching. Lear.
Yeah.
She goes, they're humans, but they partake in. Please. And then she kind of looks, there's like with one of the mirrors, and you can see the inside of a tent of some sort. However, it's empty. You see still wine glass and such on here. He goes, let's join them and see how unhappy or happy they are to be with us for a time. What do you do?
I follow her. I feel maybe there's a way to talk her into letting them go.
As you come, you hear the most beautiful music you have ever heard before. This thing is technically like, if a target has magnetism, well, you must penetrate their resistance usually. And here's the thing: 30 would not technically penetrate either of the Queen's music. The thing is, they are enthralled because this is the sort of thing that they love. They're essentially more vulnerable to it because it is exactly what they want. What are you singing? And as the two of you kind of come out, she immediately, the Queen of Golden Glass, immediately like heads out and is sort of staring there, and you see the frost on the road as Bastion is singing, and you also see the wolves sort of behind. The wolves are no longer paying attention as like they and then Hunter, who's a little further away from Bastion, they've all turned and are watching Bastion. Bastion, what are you singing about?
He is singing about the beauty of the Ice Queen and her power and her benevolence. He's basically just improving the most beautiful song about her, trying to manipulate her into believing the things he's saying.
Thing is, she is beautiful in her way. But 24 is almost impossible. And everything here goes by like threes.
So yeah.
So you are 2 levels above almost impossible. As this happens, like as she's just listening, like hand on her heart, and just tears kind of coming down, and then the Queen of Golden Glass.
A cigarette after this.
The Queen of Golden Glass is also just, and when it ends, the silence. There's a moment where, like, Lear, you're in a position where you can see, and that's actually high enough that your own magic resistance is that blows way past your magic resistance. It would not for the might of the queens, but this is also the kind of thing that they don't want to necessarily be resistant to. They want this, like, this is the kind of thing that they love. As you look, you see other Fae have kind of poked their heads out. There's so many, kind of out, all of them, all very, very different from the queen, the Ice Queen, who's come forward. And she's like just crying, and the Queen of Golden Glass is like, "That is the most magnificent thing I've ever heard."
He is
come-
ours.
Hmm?
He is ours.
Turns to you and goes, "A boon is earned. You're taking them back?
I am.
Then they're both yours. They can return."
Doing anything?
My queen.
You doing anything later, man?
So I heard you singing about the Ice Queen, and I'm just like,
Hunter is weeping while he says that. He's like, "Are you doing anything later, man?"
I step forward. I see the Ice Queen. I step next to Bastien. I'm like, my lady,
my mage.
It is wonderful to meet you.
Delighted
I
to meet
see.
you and yours as well.
Bastien has joined our covenant, and I would like to take him home to his family.
The Ice Queen takes another tear and hands it to you, Bastion. This belongs to you.
makes a little pair of
This is
ears.
my gift for what you've given me. But when she turns, she takes the Queen of Golden Glass's hand, and the two of them are kind of holding hands, like literally smile at each other, and then look back at you, seemingly entranced.
We saw you from across the field,
Bastion,
and we love your
At least
energy.
liked your vibe.
Bastion, I think, just bows to them and says, and I think he says it sincerely, that maybe I can perform for you again in the future.
They sort of look at each other. There's just this moment where she goes, "I believe you could perform quite well." And the two of them are starting to look at him like he's a meat on a plate a little bit.
I whisper to Bastien, say our goodbyes and let's go before things happen.
He's just like, well, it was great to perform.
And
Thank you for having me again.
almost finish when the Ice Queen is like arms around your neck, lips on yours.
Oof.
And then she parts. And it looks like the Queen of Golden Glass is about to do the same thing. What do you do?
I think he just lets it happen.
Yeah, you can't say no to the queen.
Yeah, both of them kiss you, and then take a step back and just like.
I think he does that thing that like musicians will do, where they like walk away, like they turn with that like smug look, with that little extra hitch in their get up, and he starts to walk away with Lear and Hunter.
All right. I lead them out of the tent and lead them down the road. Is it an easy way to get out of the Fae realm?
Yeah, basically you can go back to the whirlpool. You're met again by the same fairy that brought you last time, and she's like, "Step in the waters, you'll return home."
Thank you so much.
"You're welcome anytime," and then just looks, it's particularly at Bastion, and goes, "You're welcome anytime."
So is it like this all the time?
Yeah.
Ew.
As soon as we're back in the human realm, I turn to Bastien.
You made a promise to them that you have to fulfill. I do hope you realize that.
He didn't he used some pretty neutral language.
They took it as a promise. It is best if you join me. And for the record, both of you, you do not eat or drink anything in the fairy realm. I thought this was common knowledge, but I guess it's not.
It's about manners. They were doing the toast. It'd be rude not to toast.
She tried to serve me food too. All right. For the record, they almost kept you. And had it not been for this man, you're fucking them.
Oh no!
Oh
no! Make a note in the description. You don't have to put it that way, but like you've at least said that you'll return.
has the favor of 2 Fae queens.
So diary. Is that like a diary entry?
You can put it in the description just so it doesn't get lost.
Yeah, on the first page, if you scroll down.
Yeah, like one thing you can do, like when you're adding things to a grog, it's easy to just go in and say, give yourself 15 points in exposure for a year, and then just split that up between like a couple different things.
Oh my god.
So like if you get lost in the diary, but if you put in the description, it'll be always like right up front.
I do like that Hunter is so emotionally constipated that it was a 30 that made him go, you doing anything later?
And you. I'm not taking you out to get whiz again. I'm not. You seem like trouble. Like I don't hate you. I like you as a person. I do.
I didn't do anything except have some wolves come up and talk to me, and they're wolves. They shouldn't. It doesn't matter what they think.
We live in a covenant with a lot of werewolves. I'm sorry. I take responsibility for this. I really do.
Barely even insulted them. Also, they can't take a hint that, maybe it would have been upsetting that some guy living naked with them would have been a whole thing. Then
they're animals. They're not going to understand, but they do have teeth.
I know, but we got interrupted by the beautiful song. But also, let's be honest, they would think it was weird if a wolf came to live with us and put on a hat and pants.
We have pets. It's
but we don't put hats on them. Not all the time, at least.
We literally have one of the mages with a tiger.
Yeah, but it doesn't wear pants.
Anyway, Bastion, the next time you go back to the Fae realm, eat and drink nothing. Manners aside, make excuses. You will have to go back, though.
Maybe eat something.
Because they...
What, Michael?
That one just hit me.
Maybe eat something.
That's a clip that.
How will I establish context? I'll find a way.
Bastion just goes, if I go back, are you gonna go with me?
Yes, it's probably better I do.
Milady.
You could probably go back when you're old or something, right? Like,
Bastion just holds up the lyre that he kept. He's like, I probably have to return this next time too.
Make a note, yeah. Also make a note that you have the fairy lyre, which is a +1.
And
I did.
And there's eyes just go, why? Like, you kept it.
Well, no, they didn't. They gave it to me and didn't ask for it back, so I just kept it.
Oh my god!
I'm
Oh
making
my
a note of that.
god!
Now,
look, if you walk out of something with out of a store, and you walk out and you don't pay and they don't stop you, then it's free.
You are thinking in human rules. This is Fae rules, okay? It's just if they're. Oh my god! You kept it.
What's wrong with keeping it?
And what if we just throw it in the water? Is good then?
No. You don't.
They gave me a gift.
Hey, I don't think they said the word gift. It's more like they forgot.
And then I look down at my clothes. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, she's still wearing the dress.
Oh no!
This one's kind of on them. They kind of gave us they kind of bum rushed at us at the end to get us out of there.
God damn it! God damn it! God damn it!
I've forgotten about that. Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
So much for reminding. That's fantastic. That sounds like a good fade to black. End of session.
I think Bastion's just gonna look at Hunter as they're walking back. He's like, "You want to get a drink?"
Yes.
That's fade to black.
All right. All right, folks. Tell us where we can find you, wonderful folk.
I'm Sarah, Improper Week 1 on TikTok, and Power Week almost everywhere else.
Hey, I am Nessa. You can find me doing a lot of strange stuff on TikTok under Loch Nessa, LOCHNEASSA. That's right, there's an A in my name, and it's weird.
I'm Steve. I'm the Dragon X on TikTok. You can find me on Beards and Barbarians every Friday night, as well as the Ronan Sten podcast.
All right, I'm Michael. I'm Improv GM just about everywhere, and we will catch you all later. Thank you so much.
Bye.